What's good, everybody? Welcome into your daily sports betting brand of record. We like to call it the early edge. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting, and it's not even close. It's Monday, May 23rd, 2022, and A-Rob in the chat said it best. The Mavs killed what would have been a great day on Sunday. Let's quickly recap, as we are also the most transparent show in all of sports betting. Alex again coming through. Johnny B with the Cubs yesterday early. Warriors Mavericks under 218.5. However, SportsLine letting us down just a little bit with the numbers, but that's what happens. It's called sports betting, but I'll hit that gem, Matthew Fitzpatrick from the Jeweler. But our soccer boys, they had a pretty good day yesterday. By the way, if you follow Buckets on Twitter, he gave you out a bunch more winners as well. Follow him there because he is nonstop. Even though the big leagues are slowing down, we are not. Let's bring in the stars of the show. And you know, on a Monday, we got to get out to a roaring start. So look who I brought in today. My goodness, the spoil of my riches. First and foremost, live from Las Vegas, Zack Cimini. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah, I had some difficulties getting on the show today, but got everything figured out. Ready to go.
It's all about just getting here. That's the hardest part, getting to the starting line. But she's been here, Alabama. Good morning, my dear.
Good morning. Happy to be here today, ready to get to some baseball.
I'm hoping the Calgary Flames will show up like you showed up this morning after that despicable display last night. Now, this man got right back on the winning track yesterday, and you had a pretty good weekend, if I do say so. Johnny Bollman, good morning, sir.
Yeah, how you doing, Coach? It's good to be back in the winning track. Still reeling a bit from the Royals losing when they were up 6-0 last night in the 8th inning, but we're going to get over it. It's a new day. We're going to win some bets today.
There is nothing worse than putting that phone down. Oh, I got that W in my back pocket. Not so fast, my friend. Not so fast. Let's get into our storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And on the ice right now, bet at your own peril. Maybe find some different ways to play these hockey games that you bet the over, goes the under. You bet the under, it goes the over. You bet this team wins. I can't figure it out. So I need a different kind of bet, Allie, that I can at least look at and say, maybe I'll play that. Talk to me.
Yep. So I'm just looking at those goalie save props and the team shots on goal. So I have some of the teams that we're playing tonight. So the Avs, they're averaging 41.1 shots on goal. Blues 30.7, Panthers 31.5, or TV 31.5, and then the Panthers 33.8. So just looking at that, you can see, especially compared to the regular season, the Panthers during the regular season, they were averaging like 37.3 shots on goal, but also they were scoring like 4 goals a game. And here we've only seen them in the playoffs like average like 2.5. So I think looking at those goalie save props is definitely something interesting, because I know a lot of the lines are kind of the same to what they were during the regular season, especially like around that 29.5. So I think it's just important to look at for the postseason.
And I encourage you all to follow Allie on social media, because she always follows these storylines up with either a play, a pick, or a little feedback. So, Allie, thank you very much. Now, let's stay. No, we're not going to stay on the ice. We're going to go to baseball now, because sometimes, and I think you've really educated us very well, Johnny B, about Wednesdays and Thursdays, about Sundays, but also it's about what players are available on what days. Talk to me.
Yeah, so I want to talk about at what point do relievers become unavailable, because relievers are a big part of my gambling game. And this is a quick storyline, but it's also very significant when handicapping bullpens. So after pitching 3 days in a row, or 4 out of 5 days, is typically when a reliever will universally be unavailable. But just because he's available doesn't mean he'll be 100%. Relievers pitch all the time, 2 days in a row, or 3 days and 4 nights as well. We still fade bullpens like this, though, because that means they're worked and their arms are hurting a bit. They're not 100%. These relievers are still available to pitch, but they won't be nearly as effective. So it's very important to know how worked a bullpen is before betting on or against them.
That is a fantastic storyline. And some of our cappers will put it into their pick, explanation. Others do not. So go to that with what you will. All right. Thank you for that storyline very much, Johnny. Now, 2 of the 3 games so far, I personally have played the Celtics Heat over. I said after game 1 that if the Celtics want to have any shot, they would have to speed up the pace. That's exactly what they've done. But let's go a little bit deeper than that on the over. Zach Attack, that's where you come in.
Yeah, when you see something like this, especially in playoff basketball, when you're going to see the same matchup over and over again, you would expect the number to adjust. That hasn't been the case with the Miami Heat and Boston Celtics. We're seeing it was 208.5 yesterday. It's actually come down a point to 207.5 on the total. And as you mentioned, Coach, the overs have went over in all 3 games thus far. But if you break down the games, it's been a little bit of an anomaly. Miami Heat in game 1, they had the explosive third quarter of 39 points. We saw in the last game, they just came out the gate, 39 points in quarter 1. And in the Boston Celtics, they had a couple of big quarters in their game 2 victory. 2 of them where they scored 35 points. But then you look at the other quarters, it hasn't been as effective for both teams. And we know that both sides, they're playing through injuries. Some players are still unknown status. They won't know until game time or a little bit later on today. So this is something to keep an eye on, that maybe the under will finally hit, just because both teams are so beat up, and we know that the playoffs start to wear you down as a team.
Yeah, it may feel like one of those grinded out style games, like what we had in the first half of last night's game. I think, and I've done the other night, I bet live, I think 2 or 3 times, Zach. It only went up like to 209, 210. Like it would never go up, even though it should have been around 215, 216 live. They just don't believe in these two teams playing to the over. They just don't. It's crazy. All right. Now, I am so excited to get our week started off right. And we're going to get to our board very, very soon. But first, we need to hear from our partners. And we are back. All right, let's get into our board for the day. One play from SportsLine. And by the way, if you are not a SportsLine member, there's never been a better time than to join right now. So many sports that you may not normally know how to bet, we've got you here. We've got videos. We've got education. You get all of our cappers, all of our simulations for one very, very small price. And today, SportsLine is telling us we're going to play the Blues on the puck line, plus 1.5, minus 170. Yes, that's a little juicy. But in the NHL playoffs, one goal can be everything in our simulations. This cashes 70% of the time. We're rolling with the Blues on the puck line, minus the 170. Now, when I have 3 spectacular handicappers at my disposal, where do I start? Well, I start with the man who came strong yesterday, and I believe he will do it again today. Johnny Bollman, start us off, please, sir.
Yeah, let's do it, Coach. I like Cardinals minus 120 versus the Blue Jays today. So the Blue Jays struggle against right-handed pitchers, and they will face one of the toughest in the league tonight, Miles Mikolas. Mikolas has also been much better at home. Jose Barrios has been very hit or miss, but he's been struggling a lot more on the road. The Cardinals put up 18 runs yesterday, and their offense has been ignited by the additions of Juan Yepez, Brendan Donovan, and top prospect Nolan Gorman. In May, the Cardinals have the 3rd highest weighted on base average in the league, while the Blue Jays have the 3rd lowest. Cardinals also have a much better bullpen, and they didn't have to use it yesterday in the blowout. Pujols and Yadier Molina have now both pitched in the past week. Paul Goldschmidt was also out yesterday, so he should be back in the lineup today, and he's one of their hottest hitters. This team is having fun right now, and they're heading home. I like the Cardinals to get hot.
I don't like the Cardinals to get hot, Johnny Bollman. I love the Cardinals to get hot. I love this play to start off our board today. All right, now, this is an embarrassment of riches. It truly is. Now, Allie, I feel like in my gut, this is what we need to do. So I'm going to put you up next for a very particular reason. Go ahead, young lady.
Okay, so I'm going to go with the Blue Jays and the Cardinals over 7.5. And right now at Caesars, that's plus 105. So it's a nice little plus money there. But kind of what John said, the over is 5-3 in Barrios' starts, but he really has been a hit or miss pitcher. And I think the problem more is that the Blue Jays haven't been scoring as much, but we have seen the Cardinals really been able to put up runs. Their last 5 games have gone over. But Miles Mikolas, he's been really, really good. He hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs in a start this season. But I think we have seen the Jays kind of win some games there. So I wouldn't be surprised to at least see them get a couple runs and really at a low 7.5. That's kind of all you need. So I think I'll take the over 7.5.
I think that I'll take the over 7.5 as well. I love stacked plays, as I like to call them. Cardinals on the money line, we'll catch that. We'll go. We may not even need the Blue Jays to score any run the way the Cardinals have been hitting lately. We may not even need it. That would be savage, wouldn't it? 8-0, 9-0. You don't even need the Blue Jays. All right, Allie, I love that play so much. Now, I'm going to go next because I purposely took 2 days off. Sometimes when you're handicapping and you're the elite capper that I walk around to be every single day, you got to take a break and step back a little bit sometimes. But today I'm ready to go. I'm fired up. I dug deep. And we're going to go with the Cubs and the Reds over to the 9. Now, neither one of these pitchers has an ERA south of 5. Drew Smyly, last time out, 3 earned runs and 4 1/3. Vladimir Gutierrez, how about this for a stat line? 0-5, 8.65 ERA. They play in a bandbox. The Reds are playing much better as of late also. They're scoring runs. So I love this spot for the Cubs, Reds over 9. Now, you all know that watch the show every single day. Our loyal fans, our loyal viewers and listeners on Apple and Spotify, watching on YouTube. You also know that our brand new show, Early Edge in 5, has been a resounding success. We'll be back later this afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern Time with all of your storylines and best bets for the next game, Celtics Heat tonight. But a little tease right now. In the maestro spot, Zack Attack, the floor is yours.
Yeah, we're going to go over the player prop, and this one is a little bit different because his number's not released yet. We've seen this from time to time. I think Larry actually used to do this. I have a key player. It's just not listed. He will be available later on today in Grant Williams. And we talk about the Boston Celtics. When they've needed a big game to bounce back from a big loss, he has been the player, or at least the role player, that has stepped up. You go back to game 2 when they lost game 1. He stepped up with 19 points. Game 7 against the Milwaukee Bucks, they needed that win. They needed a role player to play big. He scored 27 points. And then in that same series, when they lost to Milwaukee Bucks in game 1, he scored 21 points in game 2. So the shots are going to be there. And the Celtics, they need a little bit more cohesiveness on the offensive end of the floor. Marcus Smart, he's laboring. I think his shot attempts will come down in this game. And then you look at the other role players, they just haven't had that balance. So Williams is a guy that's been somewhat consistent, that can step up, especially when we know what Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are going to get extensive defense. I expect the Miami Heat to adjust on Jaylen Brown after he scored 40 points in the last outing. So you're going to have to wait for this one. I'm sure on the early edge at 5, his number will be out by then, and we will play the over. I'm going to anticipate as well this being between 8.5, 9.5 points as it's been throughout most of the playoffs.
I apologize. I'm laughing, Zach. I think you said early edge at 5. Is actually early edge in 5 at 4. So
there we go. I did say that too.
Yeah.
I used to have a thing back in my retail days. It was called Alive at 5. So I kind of messed that up a little bit, but we did have that. We did have that slogan. You want to look fresh and ready to go at 5 o'clock.
That's amazing. In my town in Stamford, Connecticut, Hootie and the Blowfish were the last people to play on that Live at 5 years and years ago. Take all your chairs and your tables, put them out on the street, listen to people play music. Love that. But today it's early edge at 4 in 5. See, I reversed it again. Oh, I'm crazy. I'm absolutely crazy. All right. I believe it's that time. Oh, there is the recap, courtesy of the jeweler on the 1s and the 2s. It looks absolutely glorious. Zack Attack. He's on the Grant Williams over prop as soon as it comes out. Bang that hard. Blue Jays, Cardinals over 7.5 from Alabama. Then Johnny B, same game. Cardinals, they've been rolling, playing, having fun. All of the reasons we like them at -120. Then if you're going to cash with me, you're going to play this game. Cubs or Rebs over 9. Neither pitcher is in form at all. -108. Then from SportsLine itself, we're going to know with the Blues on the puck line. A little juicy. I get it. But we need that goal in this game, which is been a very offensive series thus far. Now, jeweler, show your face. And ladies and gentlemen, this man right here, if you're not paying attention, one of the low-key best golf handicappers in America today, coming off another impressive top 20 cash. Jeweler, good morning.
Good morning. I mean, I will say you on the show, you pushed back and you said I'd take Matt Fitzpatrick top 10, which would have been an even juicier payout. And it also would be a juicier payout than the Jeweler's Gym today, which is just a little plus 136 alternate total parlay. So we're going to go with the Panthers Lightning under 6.5, just what Alabama said. Shots on goal have not been happening for the Panthers. They're coming off the back-to-back. I hate to say it. I think this might be a sweep. I would be happy if it wasn't a sweep, but it looks very ugly. So in a elimination game, we'll take the sphincter tightening and we'll go with the under. And then we're going to take the over 197.5 in Heat Celtics. That's also an alternate line, just like Zach said. We've had these overs been hitting. Let's follow the trend again. So those two combined, Panthers Lightning under 6.5, Heat Celtics over 197.5 will return you just plus 136. It's a smallish sports day on the slate. So, not going to get too crazy out here. We're just going to, as AB says, grab a unit, get out of here.
That's it. Sometimes you got to take the small victories when you do this 7 days a week. By the way, how would you feel if you had to play back-to-back games in the playoffs? I mean, I understand it's all about TV, but come on.
I hate it so much.
Yeah,
right? I hate it so much.
It's brutal. So Coach, right? I got to correct you because the early edge in 5 is live at 5 if you're in the Atlantic time zone. So
we're Halifax.
So yeah, all of our Puerto Rican viewers.
We
are live at 5 there.
My apologies to everybody. Zach was correct. I was incorrect. So there you go. And it would be live at 11 if we were in Germany, I think. I don't know. All right. I love this so much. We love that you spend the time with us every single morning because we couldn't do it without you. A reminder, Early Edge in 5 will be live today at 4 p.m. Eastern time. But there's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, I love them all. Zack Attack, Alabama, Johnny B, and, of course, the jeweler who puts it all together here at the brand. I am the coach. Tell all of your friends you want to be included. You want to feel good about yourself. You want to be positive to start the day off. There's only one place. It's right here. We call it the Early Edge. Good luck.